Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live. It's UFC 305 fight week. Thank God. We got a pay-per-view coming at us. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. What's happening, my friend?
Ready for a fucking pay-per-view, man. Come on. We coming in hot.
Listen, the pay-per-view is on this coming Saturday. And you want to know something, Mike? If we buy the pay-per-view in the next 28 minutes, we save $10. I think I might have to buy it on show right now.
Is that right?
I think I get it for $10 off if I buy it right now.
This is the problem with that.
I'm buying it right now.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll hold it down while you buying it. This is the problem with that. I run a UFC gym, so we get the pay-per-views for $3.99. You know what I'm saying? So I can just go. You know, we always got like a hot dog truck or some shit pulled up at the gym. Come see us at UFC Gym Rosemead. We're going to have hibachi or something fantastic. And we'll be watching fist fights. That's right, AJ. You're invited as well, brother.
As long as I'm invited, even if I don't show, I just bought the pay-per-view. So go, yep, we just bought the pay-per-view. Dude, you save $10. That adds up at the end of the year, bro.
Facts. Well, I know you'll be doing a live, so
yeah,
that's different. That's different. I'll get back to my lives. I might. They're my Saturdays, guys. I gotta. Wifey's got me on Saturdays, and I'm going to Europe soon.
That's gonna be dope.
You know, folks, I'm super excited for this card, top to bottom, a fun one for sure. I love that we're in Austin with the Aussies over in Australia. They stacked it up with some solid Australian talent and didn't give them gimme fights. You know, a lot of these times you go to Brazil and they really help the Brazilians out. You go to Abu Dhabi and they really got, that was not this card. Every single Aussie, maybe besides one, most Aussie fights, they are fights. And so I'm excited, man. I definitely did a lot of homework and I got more homework to do still. But, you know, I love seeing a pay-per-view.
Let's go. We're going to have heat to talk about. Note this, Contender Series picks are dropping after this show. I still got to record it, but I'm going to get it uploaded after the Money Line. So probably around the time Finchman finishes his live stream, we'll have Contender Series picks up. So it's going to work out beautifully, man.
You got content all night, folks. Forget the Donald Trump, Elon Musk interview. You're here hanging out with AJ and I. Let's get it.
Let's get it. We're going to quickly touch on last week, but I know 90% of the chat does not want to talk about it. No, listen, all I got to say is Spivak is a gangster, bro. That armbar was sick. I'm a low-key Spivak believer.
Let's go. And we were talking about Spivak striking, and I just said he would match Tybura in the grappling. I gave Spivak out as my lock of the week on my bets. So, hey, everybody who was, you know, on the Telegram, they want to talk about last week. They ate AJ last 3 fight nights. 14-1 on my bets.
That's really good.
Fucking,
doing a great job on Telegram.
Eating. And Spivak put a fucking exclamation point on it, man. Beautiful armbar. You heard he came in injured?
Yeah, and he looked great. He was both of our locks too, man. Did you had the lock planned? Maybe when you saw I locked it, it was exciting for you when we doubled down on Spivak. I didn't even know you locked Spivak until right now, though.
Fuck yeah, yes,
I couldn't get into the Telegram, bro. I'm having issues with my app.
What the? We're getting you in today. We're getting you in today, 100%. Issues? I hope not, brother.
I think that's I'm in these crypto chats, bro, and they have too many messages I haven't opened. It's just lagging.
Get the Russian bots off your phone.
I got Russian bots, dude.
We'll get you in, dude. They were trying to crash that fucking the X interview today. They're on AJ's phone. I had lock Sergey Spivak. Parlay was Yusuf Zalal, Chris Gutierrez, and Carol Rosa over 2.5. Cha-ching. Premium play Chepe and Jackson over 2.5. They priced that way wrong. You know, Damon Jackson was tough as shit. Chepe looked good though. Did he look heavier, bro? Yeah, missing weight ended up going well for him. He was big as fuck. My man Chepe, he's better at wrestling than ever. The 1L is Damon Jackson money line. He was fighting a big boy in Chepe. Chepe beat him up. He looked good. And then I gave Yana Santos out.
She looked great.
By the way, ended up flipping to Denise money line. Gave that out on the free Telegram. Let's go, AJ. Got some plus money on that one.
Let's go. Let's go. Denise is our guy, bro. Heavyweight's our call.
He looked good, man.
He
Denise
did.
is a problem. I'll tell you what. Denise is going to watch that fight back. I'm sorry, we're all over the fucking place. Denise is going to watch that fight back, and he's going to go, I'm letting my hands go more. I'm throwing more elbows. I'm throwing more knees, because he could have knocked Carl Williams out many times in that fight. He stayed very patient. He showed his seniority as a kickboxer. But brother, he could have put Carl Williams out early. He
could have. We got a few donors I want to bring up.
Run it.
And Trip, my guy, we appreciate you for 99 cents. Gangsta. I'm back on the rips, Finch, so I'm feeling good. Not as much, but lightly back.
My wife was at the Snoop Dogg concert on Saturday, the Olympics. They announced the 2028 Olympics. Yeah. So speaking of smoking, what's up, Tristan Harrell? What do you think of this two-leg Prates and Erceg? Woo, AJ, go.
I mean, Mike Finch is always a good play. And then you put a Brazilian Savage in Prates. I think you're live for it. I think it's a good call.
They keep telling me I look like Steve Erceg, folks. Do I look like fucking Steve Erceg? Me and Steve Erceg walk into the bar. I'm taking her home. You know That's what I'm funny. Saying? And I'm married. I don't know. Not the ladies. I'm off the mark. But I'm just saying, Steve Erceg's a dork. All right.
He hates it.
Erceg and Prates is interesting, brother. Interesting, Tristan. I haven't put any parlays together yet, but that's interesting.
Michael Bowman, welcome back with a $50 to the boys. Drinks on me. We appreciate you. Wow. Yo, it's been a minute.
Drinks.
Bowman, good to see you.
All I got is water, Mike, but I'm going to sip it for you, Mr. Bowman. Good to see you. I hope you're happy and healthy, Mr. Bowman. Yep. A drink for Mike.
Hey, thank you, Michael Bowman.
Thank you so much, Mike. That is so generous, brother.
Thank
you. I'll get AJ a nice shirt, because we're supposed to dress up for pay-per-views. So instead of a drink, we're gonna send AJ somewhere else. He's got the Walmart fit right now. We're gonna help AJ out with that 50. Thank you, Mike.
There's actually an e-sport of fitness shirt, but it's a throwback, man. It's better. It's a little better than Walmart. It's like a Target shirt. I'm pretty sure it's like a Hanes knockoff. It's comfortable.
Hanes, that's Walmart fucking Topia. Hanes is exactly.
I thought Hanes was Target.
Is it? All right.
I thought Walmart was that other brand. I don't know the name, to be honest.
All
Look it up.
Walmart.
Jamie, check it.
Hanes. Here we go. Walmart summer savings. Let's see if it comes up. Boom. Hanes on Walmart.com, dog. Yep. Right. Sorry, bro. You got the Sam's Club fit, bro.
I'll take you. That's fair. Sam's Club, bro. Shout out Sam's Club. Thank you, Michael Bowman.
Thank you, Mike.
Paku, let's go, guys. I fly into Perth tomorrow. Gonna see Yuri. Holy shit. So excited. Look for the big Paulie heavyweight in the crowd, like and sub people. Thank you, Paku. We appreciate the 5. Let's fucking go, my man. We definitely need some videos in Discord from you, dog. That'll be
absolutely dope. Paku. Drop the content. Thank you, Paku.
Let's go. Listen. We got a good card to talk about, Finch, man. I don't want to keep the people waiting too long, okay? I cleaned my beard up for this show. I said, listen, it was getting a little scraggly. I had to trim it. It was long, man. It was long. Now I feel, silky smooth. Silky smooth. Now you got a little 5 o'clock shadow coming.
I was out of shaving cream, bro. I'm not one of those guys who will just rub the lotion, or whatever the fuck you got. Like, I need the shaving. I'm a little too bougie. So, I just got the shaving cream today. Next time you guys see me, silky smooth, okay?
Mustache Finch, chat.
This is the playoff beard.
Mustache Finch, who wants it? Let them know. We need Mustache Finch 2025.
Yeah, AJ's got the stash going. I don't know. My shit's too fine, It's very thin hair. Like, you could kind of see how you could see my scalp. I just
a little bit.
I have fine hair, so nobody gives a fuck. Let's talk about fist fights.
Let's go. We're gonna start it off. First fight on the card. Make sure you guys smash the likes if you haven't. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Stewart Nicoll versus Jesus Aguilar. I'm going with Stewart Nicoll to win. I'm going to ride with the prospect from Australia that's supposed to be pretty good. Aguilar's a scrappy underdog, though, and he definitely will fight for your money. He's got solid wrestling, solid boxing, but we've seen him in bad positions on the floor. He's been submitted twice as a pro. Stewart Nicoll hasn't really fought anybody all that high caliber, which is a relative concern. But I do think from the way he's beating these guys up, it's impressive. He beats the shit out of his opponents, takes them down, good ground and pound, really good control. I think he can out-wrestle and out-scramble an Aguilar, and I think he could potentially take his back, do some damage. I'm going to go Nicoll to get it done. Aguilar's tough, though, right? To call Nicoll to finish would be massive. So Nicoll for the pick. I think we might be going distance here, but it wouldn't blow my mind if we saw, Nicoll end up taking his back, landing some big shots. But to finish an experienced guy like Aguilar in your UFC debut, very tall task.
Nicoll's been calling to come to the UFC, and AJ, he is a finisher. 7 out of those 8 wins via finish. And I've been watching his fights, and I've been very impressed by the fence wrestling. He does a great job stepping in between, dragging guys onto the mat, putting their hands on the mat, putting that hook in, getting the far side wrist control, dominating from top position. He wrestles on the fence brilliantly, better than your average UFC fighter, that's for sure. The problem is his striking his booty, and he hasn't really fought anybody who can really give him some hell. And so Jesus Aguilar, I think, is by far the best opponent he's ever fought. And Jesus Aguilar hits hard as fuck. That overhand right he knocked out Shannon Ross with, I thought he decapitated Shannon Ross. That looked like some medieval times guillotine shit. That was a crazy overhand right. Jesus Aguilar's got a really nice guillotine too. The problem is when you have a nice guillotine like Aguilar, sometimes you decide to jump it, you decide to go for it, and it ends up putting you on bottom. You can ask Dustin Poirier about that. Now, of course, Poirier might be a bad example. He did end up knocking out the Frenchman. You're going to get Saint-Denis. Yeah. So, but you don't want to end up on bottom underneath Stewart Nicoll. So I'm going to go Stewart Nicoll. I do believe Stewart Nicoll could even finish this fight, but I'll tell you what, this is one tough Mexican. He's going to have a cross from him. He is going to be up against the toughest test of his career, and we have to acknowledge that. I got a lot of respect for Jesus Aguilar. To make a UFC debut against Jesus Aguilar is no fucking joke. Super excited for this one. To be honest, the more tape I watched on these two, the more I thought this is going to be a real test to see if Nicoll's more than a wrestler. If he is, he could definitely get through this thing. I definitely believe in him on the fence, man. Look, Aguilar is good, but he just kind of works that under-over game. You jack up the underhook, get off the fence. You get under-over on the fence with Nicoll, you're going to be on the ground. I believe that wrestling will get him the dub.
We're going to go both of us on Nicoll. Downside is, betting-wise, he's a minus 235 favorite, and like me and Finch both said, he hasn't fought anyone of note. Looking at Aguilar, he's a plus 200 underdog. A finisher, honestly, both guys are finishers, but definitely Nicoll. The over 2.5 is minus 165. Do you really want to throw Nicoll inside distance against a veteran like Aguilar? I don't know. As of right now, it seems like betting-wise, it could be more of a stay away. It could potentially hit that over mark, especially because they're flyweights. But it's really dependent upon how good Nicoll truly is, man. It's going to be an interesting fight.
100%. Trap Lord is on beach in Edinger. That's like right by me. Trap Lord, I live on the corner of should I do that? I shouldn't do that. I was literally gonna fucking yell at him out my balcony. Would that be dope? Sorry, Trap Lord. I can't be doing that. I am very close to where you are right now. So buy your toothpaste. We got a dono. Whitaker coming for the winner of main event. Whitaker's got to be coming for Hamzat first. Okay, let's focus on that one. Thank you for the $3. Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro. We appreciate you, Waddy.
Good fight. This is how you kick off a fucking card, man. This is probably my favorite prelim.
You know what's interesting is I've seen some people on Twitter talking about, oh, MMA doesn't hit the same, yada do. I don't know. When you've been watching for a really long time, like 10 plus years, you realize that there's always going to be good fights, and there's always going to be some cards that aren't absolute, craziness, like as far as name value. But to me, it's like this first fight on the damn prelims has me intrigued. I don't know. I think the UFC is in the best spot it's ever been. The most talented UFC ever for the most part right now, as far as depth of every weight class besides heavyweight.
Light heavyweight, though?
Light heavyweight, too. It's a little... Heavyweight and light heavyweight, man, is the weak two, the weakest links. Even middleweight is okay at the top, but shit, when you go about featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, even flyweight now is lit. These two are flyweights.
Don't you dare hate on middleweight, bro. Let me check these UFC rankings.
Middleweight's solid.
Oh, middleweight's so solid. It used to. I'm from back when it was Anderson Silva And then he was
James
fighting
Irvin.
Talis Latis. You know, yeah, exactly. We got Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya, Robert Whitaker, Nasruddin Imavov, Jared Cannonier. You got fucking Hamzat Chimaev. I mean, you go down the list. Even Paulo, you know, Marvin Vittori. I mean, etc. Yeah, Brandon Allen's even good. Like, yo, middleweight's legit. Yes, the UFC made some bad moves at light heavyweight. That's why they're there. We've talked about it before. Folks, this is how you kick off a fucking card.
Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Kenan Song versus Ricky Glenn. I think Kenan Song's pretty live for a knockout here. Now, initially, I thought this fight was at 155. Tapology had it listed as a lightweight fight. And obviously, now that's incorrect. It's been changed to a welterweight bout. That only adds to my Kenan Song confidence. I was still picking him to cut the extra 15 pounds and come and win against Ricky Glenn. But now that we're fighting at, you know, the natural weight class, I think Song is going to have a field day on the feet with Glenn. I think Glenn's just simply too slow in the striking, and his willingness to exchange is going to get him hurt here. Song's pretty powerful. And then on top of that, I don't think Ricky Glenn has a substantial grappling threat to take Song down and bully him. I just really don't feel like Glenn has much of a shot in this fight. I think Song is probably going to end up getting a KO win in this one. We saw Glenn knocked out back-to-back fights. I mean, his, you know, most recent win was that Joaquim Silva quick knockout. And then he had a draw with Grant Dawson, which I guess aged relatively well. But Dawson's more of a grinding grappler, right? He's not looking to do damage in the striking department. Even you dig back to some of his earlier fights, Glenn is in a 50-50 split decision with Kevin Aguilar, and he got dropped there. I just think Kenan Song is probably too crafty on the feet for him and should probably KO him.
I like Song in this matchup, man. I agree. Now, I've heard people say crazy shit like Glenn's too old. They're like the same age. I've heard people say crazy shit like Glenn's got too many miles on him. They have this like the same amount of fights. So these guys are very, very similar spots in their career. It's just that Song's a much more fluid, better striker. And Glenn's been KO'd a couple times here. Song is a tough customer to strike with, man. He's much more fluid. If you look at the way Glenn strikes, he's a little robotic. He's hittable, as to where Song is more like water, right? Song's like the water Pokemon. He's like the rock Pokemon.
Is that because he's Asian, you saying that?
What is Asian water? What I don't
Bruce
get it.
Lee said, "Be like water."
Be like water. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You went over my head with that one. Be the cup. No, you know what? I don't even think Bruce Lee actually said that. Like, I know what you mean. He said it, but it's like a movie line. Like, people always give Bruce Lee credit for quotes that he read from a script. Like, isn't that a movie line? The be like water, and he repeated it.
I mean, it's like
Maybe
Rocky, right?
Bruce Lee haters are gonna kill me for that one.
They are.
I'll tell you what. Back in the day, I was hating on Bruce Lee because people would say, "Oh, Bruce Lee would just go into the UFC and mop people up." I used to hear that shit all the time in high school. Yeah, Kimbo Slice would knock out these UFC fighters. I'd be like, Jesus Christ, dude. You know, I'd have to fucking have these conversations.
Kimbo knocked out a couple, right?
Brother,
He
Kimbo
got a decision over Houston Alexander. That's pretty impressive.
He did, yeah. Who Houston Alexander's record's like 30-30, bro.
Fair.
But yeah. Well, respect to the legend Kimbo Slice. I mean, you got to respect that he actually went in the UFC and fought UFC fighters. He went on the Ultimate Fighter and lost to Roy Nelson. As Rampage said, Roy Nelson put the moon on him. He got him in that freaking crucifix and belly to the face TKO. You know, Bruce Lee never did that. Bruce Lee was a movie star. He could have fought in Vale Tudo, but he didn't do that. So we can't credit him, right? You can't just because he made Jeet Kune Do, like the guy who made basketball can't beat LeBron James in one-on-one. Like we're talking about there's the people who fight and there's the people who look good in movies, and those are very different things, right? We got to give credit where credit's due. Okay, how did we go there? I believe Song is going to win by knockout as well, AJ.
I think it's a good pick. He's only a -170 favorite with Glenn at +145. I think Song's pretty live as a decent money line. The over 1.5 -144. Glenn's been knocked out a couple in a row. We don't know where the chin is at. And then Song KO +115. I mean, I just like Song down the center. Straight money line, man. Song's a gangster. I like Song, man. I'm starting to really believe in him more and more. And then you give him a matchup like this, I think this is where he thrives for sure.
I think you're on point with the money line too. I don't announce my bets this early, but I do believe that money line's probably the way to go here. I'll say because songs could also be patient sometimes, right? We've seen him in a flow state. We're back to the water thing. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Song by KO, but like song decisions live too.
Let's go. Song for the W for both of us. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, it's Tom Nolan versus Alex Reyes. That's funny. I got to pick Tom Nolan in this matchup. He's a little bit worrisome because of his hit ability. He's relatively stiff and very up tall. Something that when I was watching film, I noted is he has a suspect chin per se, but in all actuality, it's because he's stiff and tight that he's susceptible to big shots from these shorter guys. He doesn't really roll with punches well at all. Like a Nate Diaz is rolling with every damn shot. He's not loose, right? He's kind of tense in there. Now it makes for powerful punching and heavy kicks. And like, he has really good offensive striking. It's just, there is a worry with his defense, but you're giving an option between Tom Nolan, a good up and coming prospect, or Alex Reyes, who has fought twice in the past almost 7 years. He lost to Mike Perry by knockout, took 6+ years off, came back and got knocked out in the first round by Charlie Campbell. Sure, could Reyes lift his arm up high and catch Nolan on the chin as Nolan comes in reckless? Absolutely. But is that something that I can go out and pick? No chance of it. Tom Nolan is consistently fighting. He's a sharper blade. He's a developing guy. I think that he's getting better each and every time, and he's dangerous. So I'm going to pick Tom Nolan to get a knockout win of Alex Reyes in this fight.
I mean, you're not the only one. What are the odds here? Minus 1,000 for Tom Nolan? Bro, I never thought those would go together. That is bizarre how wide the odds are. I mean, they just don't want you to bet on this one, right? Or it's just like a Hail Mary for Reyes, because like you said, you whip a fist up in the air and maybe Tom Nolan goes out. There's a big problem here, folks. One's a fighter and one used to be a fighter. I mean, Reyes has been out the game for a long time, had a real health scare. So good that he's still with us. All respect in the world to him, but you can't be a part-time UFC fighter. It's hard to come back at this level. He would really need or you would want him to have a couple warm-up fights, right? Coming back. Think about when Tyson Fury almost died and committed suicide. And instead of doing that, he came back and he, had a couple warm-up fights to get back into it, didn't look himself right away, and then got into the groove of things. That's how you come back. You have a couple of those he's just, against Nolan, like, this is a big, big problem. He fought against Charlie Campbell in 2023 and got knocked the fuck out. Before that, it was 2017 versus Mike Perry. Guys, that's a long time out the game. You got to think Nolan is an absolute lock.
Yeah, I think so too. Odds just suck. I mean, I'm trying to find value as we speak here. I'm seeing as wide as minus 1,500 for Nolan. Reyes
at that point, it's like $5 on Reyes for fun, Like, what are we doing?
What could we do? Maybe under 1.5 at minus 350. That seems relatively live. It's probably going under. If you want Nolan by knockout, it's minus 475. Nolan by knockout in the first round is still minus 160. But if you get him in the second round, you got plus 400.
Alex Reyes has not been out of the first round since 2015. That's back when Barack Obama was president. Okay. Yeah. So it's been a minute, folks. Tannis, our regular AJ and Finchman of Legends hit the like. Thank you, Tannis. Tannis, you're a gentleman. Appreciate that.
You're a sweetheart, Tannis. We appreciate you, dog. Listen, Nolan is an easy pick, and it's just unbettable money line. It's not really parlayable. You can't even really have fun with the knockout. I mean, the knockout prop is minus 475. So, I mean, if you have to parlay it, you're going for that. You want to go for first round, okay? Maybe you're going under 1.5. I think Nolan chins him pretty easily, but, the odds suck. That's the easiest way to put it.
The odds are bizarre, but you know what? You got to think Reyes is in deep water here. So AJ, I wouldn't touch this with a 39.5-foot pole. Name the movie. Name the movie. Oh no.
Hold on.
Somebody help him out.
I don't know.
Chat, help him out. Help him out, chat. Help him out, chat.
I don't know.
The chat does not have your back right now. No, how many people got 284 people live? Nobody's got AJ's back. Am I the only person who's seen The Grinch? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yes, Grinch. There we go. Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Floppy. Thank you, Himmy.
That's funny as fuck.
Help him out. AJ, you haven't watched the best Christmas movie of all time?
No, I have. It sounded familiar, but it just didn't ring a bell.
Michael Bowman said Frosty.
That's funny.
Come on, Mike.
That's funny as hell.
All right. Yeah, come on. This is an easy one, Nolan. Next.
Nolan, let's keep running. Next fight, we got Jack Jenkins versus Herbert Burns. I think this is another one where it seems relatively obvious. I mean, Jack Jenkins won the first round against Chepe. That's pretty impressive now. Obviously, he got his arm broken, his elbow, came apart as Chepe landed on top of him. But he looks pretty good altogether. And Herbert Burns is a known quitter. That's the honest truth about Herbert Burns. He's good at jiu-jitsu. I said this on Sunday. I said he should stick with that because getting punched in the face, I'm not saying that anybody wants to do it. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. But to be a UFC fighter at a relatively high level, you can't just rely on one big knee or elbow or back take in 35 seconds or you fall apart. That's not what fighting's about. It's about digging deep through adversity. And Herbert Burns is one of the worst guys I've ever seen in dealing with adversity at a UFC level. He can't. And Jack Jenkins is going to end his MMA career. I'm going Jack Jenkins, destructive knockout. Burns will cower to the clean punches. It's more about how long will Burns last. He's decent in the first 90 seconds to even 3 minutes. But right when things start going against him, he loses all confidence and he falls apart. We've seen him quit from exhaustion. We've seen him cower away from big strikes. And he's not been super consistent with fighting either. And I know for a fact that he's more focused on training jiu-jitsu. And I know for a fact he's more focused on coaching jiu-jitsu than he is fighting MMA. He's fighting out of his contract, obviously. He's making some cash flow. But Jack Jenkins is going to destroy him. He's an absolute opponent in this fight. And Jack Jenkins is supposed to have a highlight reel incoming. And I will predict that he does. Herbert Burns, the sacrificial lamb for Jack Jenkins here.
Jack Jenkins is back, man. It's been 1 year since that Chepe fight. And, hopefully he's back healthy. This is a big, big spotlight for him. And it's the right fight for him to come back to. I mean, if you were his manager, isn't this the fight you would select? Anytime you fight Herbert Burns, obviously there's a problem on the ground. I mean, Herbert Burns has got nasty jiu-jitsu, but you can't bet on that. At least I'm not. Jack Jenkins all day. And of course it's wide, isn't it?
I'm seeing right now minus 800 for our boy Jack Jenkins.
Damn.
Inside distance minus 350. Wow. KO minus 225.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we got to call like we see it. Jack Jenkins is going to beat him up in the striking, disengage with him in the grappling, probably get a finish. Jack Jenkins, inside distance for me.
Yeah, I think he's getting it done inside distance. I think odds suck here, but he's essentially a lock. Jenkins should easily have his way with Herbert Burns in pretty destructive fashion and get a highlight reel win.
Yeah, Paku brings up a good point, is that the crowd will make a difference with some of these fights. I was already thinking about that with the Tuivasa fight. I mean, being in Australia, it'll be loud.
Yeah, it's going to be loud. It's going to be the Aussies cheering for the boy. And Herbert Burns is not going to throw a monkey wrench in the showcase fight plans for the UFC. Jenkins for the W for both of us all day long. Let's jump to the next fight. Ladies going after it. Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. I am going with Luana Santos to win. I'm not a big Casey O'Neill believer. I picked Lipsky against her when Lipsky subbed her up. So I've always felt like she's overrated. I remember the hype on her, and I think I may have fell victim to the hype at one point. But it's a false narrative, bro. She had a split decision win over Roxanne Modafferi. She got clearly outworked by Jennifer Maia. And okay, Jennifer Maia's decent. And then she got destroyed by Lipski and didn't look good. She got submitted there. Not that Lipski's a bad fighter. Lipski's relatively good, and she's got okay jiu-jitsu. Santos on the other side, though, good judo base, good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I think she's en route to getting a grappling heavy win. I think her striking is okay. It's simple, though. Luana Santos is not an exceptional kickboxer. There's a lot slicker girls as far as striking goes, but where she's going to have advantages over, a lot of girls, specifically girls that are outside of the elite, is her judo, specifically the throws. I really think in women's MMA, the throw game is more effective than it is in men's MMA at this current era. And I think Luana Santos finds her way on top of O'Neal. It's more about not if she gets her down, but it's what she does with it. Is she able to lock up a submission? Maybe. I'm going to lean towards yes, but I believe it's playing with fire because I could see Santos with a grind-heavy win coming into play. So the pick is going to be Luana Santos. I think she's a bit better than Casey O'Neal everywhere. O'Neal's best aspect maybe the striking, but I'm never that impressed, man. I don't think she's that great, and I think Santos is decent enough to make somewhat of waves moving up the ranks, and she's young too.
AJ is not impressed by your performance. Were you impressed by the twerk with Nina Drama? Did that impress you from Santos? Was that?
I didn't watch that actually. I don't watch much of that. Yeah.
AJ's got a girlfriend who watches the show, folks. Did you guys know that? All
That's funny. They do know. Yeah. That's funny.
AJ's got to keep an eye. See, when
but married, no, I just didn't want to watch it anyways, though. No offense to Luana, but.
Look what I got. I almost forgot to put it up.
That's a nice post
forgot
there.
To put it up, folks. Shit.
You look more like Adesanya than I've ever seen before.
What the fuck are you
Is that him? Adesanya.
Pause. Yo, they did some weird shit where they edited their faces too much. Doesn't this
they
like a bad Instagram filter?
Yeah. No, they have filters on. They look weird.
They look weird. UFC, what are we doing? Why are you catfishing us? UFC? What the
Catfish fuck? FC, bro. What the fuck is happening?
What is going on?
They're trying to make them a little better looking. That's it.
Fake photo championship. Yeah. What the fuck? Hey, you know what though? There I am right there, buddy.
Holy shit. There he is.
Right fucking there, folks.
I see it though. That's him. That's Finch. You guys look pretty similar in that picture. I won't lie.
You know what
I'm convinced that that's you. Steve.
I'm
here with Steve Erceg. You know what we should do, Finch? If Erceg wins this week, we do a fake interview. Say, Steve Erceg coming on the show. You bring out your best Australian accent. Probably at least 30% of the people watch will believe you.
Oh, my God. I don't even have a good Australian accent. And Steve Erceg never says anything. I saw the Embedded episode. He's like, when I'm not training, I'm usually I'm watering my grass or walking my dog. It's like, but this guy's so boring. Why is he so boring? If you're going to be me, can we have some flavor? Would Steve Erceg wear this shirt, folks? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, were we supposed to talk about this fight? O'Neal's at Extreme Couture, and she hasn't fought since December. So hopefully she's gained some ground. I've definitely seen footage of her training with the likes of, why is her name escaping me? A fantastic 135er wrestler, Extreme Couture, dates Patchy Mix. Jesus, I need more.
Tatiana Suarez.
Thank you, Tatiana Suarez. So I've seen her training with Tatiana Suarez. This is no Tatiana Suarez. She trains with better girls than Santos. I think Tatiana Suarez would fuck Santos up. With that being said, Santos has that judo game. I think she gets a takedown here, man. I can't trust Casey O'Neal either. I'm not running to the bank for it, but Santos sub is live.
Santos sub is live, but not like a high confidence bet. I think that's a fair way to put it. I mean, she's a minus 160 favorite with Casey O'Neal as a plus 140 dog. The submission line, you get a little bit of something. You're sitting at plus 550 for Santos by sub, which relatively speaking, that's good value for a girl who's got decent Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Over is minus 240, but there is a consistent trend of women's fights going long. No fucking way. Look at this picture, Finch. Do you see this pic? Do you see this right here? Do you see this? EMG drug god. Thank you for the 199. Love to that.
Let's go.
5/3 shift.
Let's
Holy
go.
shit.
Hold up. No, he photo edited whatever's in my hand there. I don't know what he grabbed there. I've never posted that on YouTube. That's way too live for YouTube. I don't know
I
what
think
I've got
that's
in my
when you
hand.
do your revolver. I
That's
think he
some
got
flowers. What do I got there? I got something. It looks like maybe a couple Oreos. What do
you.
I got
Fish
there?
gang.
I
Fish,
can't really.
he's from Chicago. He's a Crip.
Isn't that West Coast? Crips and Bloods? I'm pretty sure that's West Coast.
I thought they
bro.
had them everywhere. Maybe I'm wrong.
Chicago's like I don't even me and gangs, yeah, not exactly. Don't know a goddamn thing. Love to the Iron Knee. That's AJ.
That's
Finch
funny as
Bang.
hell.
Live third shift. Yo, big W for the photo. EMG drug god. Congratulations.
That's great.
That's sick.
That's great. 10 out of 10. Well, we're going Santos here. I don't know. As of right now, I think better bets to make with higher confidence. And that's it. Fair?
That's it.
Fair point?
Fair.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. Josh Culibao versus Ricardo Ramos. I got to pick Josh Culibao here, but I have consistently been a Ramos fan. I've rooted for him since the Lerone Murphy fight, really. And it just never comes together. And like, how many times can he let me down? His fight IQ is negative. I think that there's something that goes on up top that he just intentionally sells fights. I don't understand.
AJ, you pick him every card. What are you
I'm not
talking
picking
about?
him anymore. I'm not picking him here. I can't. As much as I want him
This
to
is your
win.
boy. You just shit
Yeah.
on your boy like that, dude.
I have
This
to.
is your
He's
boy.
breaking my heart, man. He's breaking my fucking heart over here. He broke my heart, man.
This is your cousin. This is your Brazilian.
I like
brethren,
Ramos,
bro.
but bro, how the fuck can I back him against Culibao, who at least consistently performs well, doesn't do stupid stuff? Ramos is throwing dumb kicks. The behind the lead leg kick doesn't make any sense. It's an ineffective
Tell
technique.
Anderson Silva that. AJ,
Okay, Anderson
tell
Silva,
Anderson Silva
he
that.
can do it. He's a GOAT. You can't do it if you're losing to Charles Jourdain and Julian Erosa by sub in the first 2 minutes. Not saying they're bad
Fair.
fighters, but come on.
Fair.
That's only for elites. He
Fair.
has abysmal fight IQ. He's got decent striking and decent jiu-jitsu. Culibao is set to let us down at some point, right? But he's lost 2 in a row too, right? Culibao's not been looking great as of late. I mean, last time out, he lost to Danny freaking Silva. It was okay. Fight before that, Lerone Murphy, but at least he went distance. I really want Ricardo Ramos to win. I don't know. Maybe after weigh-ins, I'll pick flip. But right now, I got to stick with Culibao to beat my guy. But I am hoping that Ramos can find a way. And I don't know. Maybe I flip it after weigh-ins just because I'm going to be blinded by my fanhood. Because Ramos reminds me of Charles Oliveira. There's potential there.
Here we
There's
go.
potential. There's
You guys see him
potential there.
boiling up? Oh,
There's
shit.
potential. I don't know. I'm
shit.
feeling something. I might.
He's-
I don't know. I
gonna
can
pick
feel
flip.
it coming in the air for the weigh-in show on Friday.
Oh, no. Isn't that how they ended The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Yo, Culibao is a much better boxer. His hands are a lot better, okay? But on the ground, he should not be able to touch Ramos. The issue is Ramos gives up position. My friend Manny Vasquez had a fight with Ramos where Dana White was their cage side, and Ramos was supposed to win and go to the UFC. It was written in the stars. Written in the stars. We got to stop with that shit. I mean, I'm telling you what, Manny was a sizable underdog, if I remember correctly. Manny Vasquez strangled him. A rear naked strangle for the real Moneyline fans. Ricardo Ramos constantly does shit like that. So AJ's 100% on point. He gives up position. And if you do that with Culibao, that would be a problem. Can you imagine Culibao actually getting on top in a fight? AJ, riddle me this. How many takedowns has Culibao achieved in the UFC? Because he's shot a bunch. He's shot double digits takedowns. How many has he achieved in the UFC?
I got to look at UFC stats, but I guess it's below 10.
Zero
landed?
Culibao's official takedown stat is 0. So he's got hands. He should just trust them. I hope he doesn't shoot at all in this fight because that's when he could get into some trouble. His grappling's not good. But, man, he's tough. He's got that, he's got that dog in him, okay? And I believe that'll get him through this. So Culibao decision with the boxing. But I'll tell you what, he's fighting a guy in Ramos who's a better kicker, better at jiu-jitsu. There are certainly some traps that he'll have to get through to get to that decision victory. I say he does it.
We'll see. Minus 150, Culibao. Plus 130 for Ramos. I'm picking Culibao for now, but I love Ramos, man. I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan. It's just the fight IQ sucks. The
Wait
potential
till
is there.
weigh-ins, guys. Wait till weigh-ins.
We'll see. I don't know.
Have a
My
good
heart's
face
telling.
off.
Yeah, we'll
AJ's
see.
Get the
If the
blood
energy
flowing.
is right, I'll tell you. Listen, if the energy is right, I'd be willing to flip for my boy Ramos because I'm telling you, there's a shot.
Right.
But I can't yet. I can't right now. Just right now, we're sticking with Culibao. I'm just too worried about Ramos, man. The fight IQ sucks. He's not that clean of a boxer, and I think Culibao's faster with his hands. So
That's the key.
Ramos would have to probably get it done with some grappling, and he's just been unreliable as hell on the ground. As far as the odds, like I said, minus 150 Culibao, plus 130 Ramos. The over is minus 150, probably. Yeah, I want to. It is what it is, bro. Culibao's probably going to get him, but we'll see. I could change my mind. We'll see.
Culibao decision.
Yeah, Culibao decision. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. It is our featured prelim of the night. It's Junior Tafa versus Valter Walker. Oh my God. So I've been picking Junior Tafa, but he could easily be smothered by Valter Walker and taken down. Tafa's takedown defense is not that bad. It's the fact that his get-up game is shit. So I could see him smothered. But Walker also seems to have a fucking terrible gas tank and really, really mid stand-up. So I'm in one of those positions where it's like Tafa has more potential for devastating punches and kicks. Walker could eke out a grind-heavy decision, but he gasses. And in the third round, let's say Tafa's defending the takedowns and he starts unloading, I could see Walker getting teed up. So I'm going to go with Tafa to catch him and knock him out in this fight here. And we'll find out what happens.
That was my initial reaction as well. And the reason why is it's because Valter Walker walks out there and eats overhand hooks like it's power slap. Like he just waits for them to hit him, dude. I mean, that guy, head movement is an afterthought. My man doesn't even think about moving his head. He's 6'6", so he's a building. I mean, he's way bigger than Tafa. And Tafa started losing some weight, dude. You know, he was going down in weight as to where Walker's a huge heavyweight. Tafa's a fucking blown up 205 or maybe less. Maybe he can make 85, dude. He's got thick legs. Let's call him 205.
I think the legs will hit at 205.
Yeah. We'll give him that much credit. But I think that Tafa's takedown defense isn't that good. I mean, DeLima took him down. Are DeLima's takedowns that good? And AJ, even worse, it was on the fence. It was on the fence where Walker is going to use that Russian style wrestling. Yes, he has adopted the Russian way of grinding on the fence wrestling. He does an okay job. He's a little bit smothering, could use a little more ground and pound, but bro, when he does ground and pound, he hits hard. He's a big boy. I think he could park that truck on top of the much shorter Junior Tafa. Junior Tafa is a glory kickboxer. He's got good big shots. 100% he's live for knockout. But if he doesn't get the KO, I don't see him getting a decision here. I see him ending up on bottom. DeLima did kick his legs out from him. That's not how he beat him. But just seeing that, watching that DeLima fight back, watching that takedown he hit on the fence, I'm like, man, I could just see, Junior Tafa cracking some big shots, Valter Walker eating them and getting these takedowns. So, Valter Walker's getting punched in the face, but if he doesn't go out, he grinds out a decision here, man. Give me Valter Walker, 29-28, ground and pound, wearing on Junior Tafa, possibly even a third round TKO.
Over 1.5 rounds at minus 145 interest you?
It interests me, but I mean the odds are like even, right?
A little bit actually. Walker's plus 115, so close money dog.
Yeah, I would.
Is Walker a bettable guy? You bet on him? You think maybe?
I'm gonna pull an Eddie Bravo and look into it.
We'll see. We'll see. Listen, guys, I got to let you know something. For everybody that's just tuning in, Contender Series picks for me will be dropping after Moneyline. I still got to upload the video, got to get it all finished. Finchman will be going live, and then probably by the time Finchman finishes, I will have the full Contender Series weigh-in recap show dropping. So if you're looking for Contender Series picks, they are coming, just so you guys know. I'm up late tonight. We're going with Tafa for me, Walker for Finch, but come on. It's Tafa and Walker, bro. This is not confidence galore. This is, you know what? There's better bets to make. There's safer sides to be on. And we'll talk about those relatively soon. Let's jump up to our main card opener. If you guys watching haven't yet, make sure you all smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Bro, I'm closing in on 35,500 subs leading into the show. Maybe by the end of the show, we end up hitting it. And then we're 500 away from the 36K. So I'm excited as hell. Let's start it off. Jingliang versus Carlos Prates. Finchman, we kind of did Prates dirty in the past. We fell into a trap of thinking that he wasn't as good as he truly is. Prates' Muay Thai is high caliber.
It is.
Striking from distance is precision, man. And I think that with the major discrepancy in the reach and the range management, I think we're going to see Carlos Prates get a W over Lee. Now, Leach has got a good chin. I think he can eat some big shots. I think Prates is going to be throwing some teeps at him. Leach trying to close the gap with the hooks. Prates' straights are better. I'm going to say Prates on the judges' scorecards is going to be the official pick in this one.
I'm surprised everybody's on Prates. I really am. You know, Charlie Radke's my boy. It was a beautiful performance by Prates for sure, but he's young in the UFC still. And Jingliang has had some great performances. I mean, people know him from getting ragdolled by Hamzat if you're a casual, but people who know the game, I mean, you've seen his striking look tremendous. So the amount I haven't heard a single person even lean towards Leach or talk about it as a competitive fight. Everybody's on Prates. Kid's got a fucking lot of hype. AJ, I watched your breakdown too, and you had a good point, which is that Leach has a chin. AJ, I don't think that matters because I think Prates is going to the body. I haven't seen Muay Thai that goes to the body as smoothly as Prates does in a long time, man. Beautiful body sniper. Whether it's a roundhouse kick or a knee up the middle, he knows where the liver is. You could see him shooting for it. I really like his Muay Thai. He's very slick with it. I do believe a shin or a kneecap slams into that liver and he gets a body shot KO. Prates is on a roll right now, and you're seeing a Leach who's going to be a little rusty, coming off of an injury. You know, we thought he'd be back earlier, and this is not an easy one for him to come back to. If he was a different stylistic matchup for Prates, that would be interesting, but I bet he just kickboxes with him. That can't be the move. Give me Prates body shot KO.
Prates to win. He's a little bit of a wide favorite now at minus 335. And then Lee.
Are they sleeping on Leach, bro?
Plus 275 for Leach. I think it's because
good.
He's good, right? But it's relative, right? With the reach disadvantage of 6 inches, him not having fought in nearly 2 years, losing the split decision to D-Rod. And granted, D-Rod's decent. Before that, he knocked out Salikov, and then the Hamzat fight prior. He knocked out Ponzinibbio before that, lost to Magny by decision. I think that Prates' frame and style is going to be too much. And it's Prates' birthday on fight day. So happy birthday. Happy birthday.
All right.
Happy
birthday, he'll
Prates,
have the birthday vibes. I did forget about the split decision loss to Daniel Rodriguez. That's not good. But he knocked out a good Muslim Salikov. That was before he started falling off. Knocked out Ponzinibbio. I mean, he's had some performances. No, we're on Prates knockout.
Yeah, Prates by knockout makes a lot of sense. Decision or KO, I think both are live methods. Like Finch said, if he's successful hitting the body, I think Prates will get him out of there. If, Leach is just taking big ones on the chin, I think his durability will come through. Either way, Prates, definitely a confident pick. And we got faith in the prospect. Things seem like they're really starting to come together. He's got a shitload of striking skill. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do here with a, pretty popular cult name in Jingliang. So Prates, biggest chance of his career, showcase fight for sure. And if he wins this, he's definitely going to be pushed by the UFC. They need a Brazilian welterweight to push, man. Not
only that, they need an exciting knockout artist. Prates is fun to watch.
He is fun to watch. Let's go. Prates the pick for Finchman and I both. Let's jump to the next one. We got Tai Tuivasa and Jairzinho Rozenstruik in a tremendous battle of heavyweights. I love this fight. Now, Tuivasa has 4 losses in a row. Starting it off, he had a war with Cyril Gane, and he dropped Gane in rather impressive loss. He took a lot of damage there, but you still have to respect him putting Gane down. Then the next fight falls apart, ran over by Sergey Pavlovich, but Pavlovich is definitely a terrifying boxer, and at that time, we hadn't seen Pavlovich touched by anybody. And then next fight, Volkov bodies him on the ground. You know, that's Tuivasa's weakness. He's a very subpar grappler. And then Marcin Tybura, there was a lot of damage done on the feet for Tuivasa, but then Tybura gets him down, subs him up. That grappling advantage was beautiful, and that jiu-jitsu black belt that Tybura has came in handy. Now he fights Jairzinho Rozenstruik with, at the least, you can say, is a more favorable fight because Rozenstruik is a primary kickboxer, comes from a kickboxing background. You're not going to see Rozenstruik shooting takedowns. I'd be rather shocked. I think Tuivasa's got a chance in this fight. I think Tai Tuivasa is faster with his hands than Rozenstruik, and I think some of us could potentially be blinded by the accolades of professional kickboxing experience to equal that he's substantially better in striking than a Tuivasa that's definitely a dangerous knockout artist. There's a good jab with Rozenstruik, and he is pretty effective at picking opponents apart, but Tuivasa is going to make it a dogfight. And there are times where you see Rozenstruik square up to throw wide shots. He gets out of position, and with the quickness that Tuivasa has, I think he can land the kill punch. I'm going with Tai Tuivasa by upset knockout. I don't think he's losing 5 in a row. I don't think he's having a Tony Ferguson fall off, and I definitely don't think he's taking an L in Australia with all the fans there cheering his name. Tai Tuivasa for the upset knockout. He sleeps Jairzinho Rozenstruik in impressive fashion and gets back on track.
Dang, I didn't expect that one. I really didn't expect that one. Shit. All right. Man, I've been sitting on this one. All right. So Biggie Boy is a better kickboxer. He's better. I really like his explosive. He's got like this jab hook thing that he throws that he hits dudes with, and he crushes people with that thing, man. You could definitely see him hitting a forward-moving Tuivasa with that. But the thing is, when you hurt Tuivasa, that's when he's most dangerous. And you've seen Rozenstruik. He hits people, the crowd pops, and then he starts throwing flying knees and shit. Like, dog, you are not a 55er. Stay on the ground, Biggie Boy. I mean, he has actually jumped through the air and gotten the KO before, but against Tuivasa, it really depends on how disciplined Rozenstruik is. If you were playing Rozenstruik like a video game, there's a way to beat Tuivasa. You use your technical kickboxing. He brings a lot more tools to the fight. Tuivasa has this and this. And I believe in a pure boxing match, Tuivasa knocks him out. But in a mixed martial arts fight with clinching and elbows and knees and all the different weapons, it becomes a lot more interesting. So if Rozenstruik just, picks him apart and is very technical and just cruises to a decision, I think he can win this fight. But they're in Australia. I think that Rozenstruik will start winning this fight. Rozenstruik will win that first round, and then as things get a little crazy, maybe Rozenstruik hits him, and you remember Derek Lewis hit him? Was it Derek Lewis? And Tuivasa wobbles? No, Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy hits him, and you saw Tuivasa wobble. Greg Hardy comes in and gets slept. Now, I'm not comparing Rozenstruik to Greg Hardy. I already heard somebody at home, Mike, what the fuck? Greg Hardy. Okay, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you get aggressive on Tai Tuivasa, he slams the overhand right, he slams the left hook, he busts the elbow, he makes shit happen and finds a KO. I think he'll be losing this fight. I think he'll be bleeding out of his mouth, and I think he'll find a left hook right hand and put Rozenstruik out. First time Rozenstruik gets knocked out in the UFC. Is that true? I got Tai Tuivasa KO.
We've seen him chin before. It's not the first time. Volkov and Ngannou, he's been put out a couple times.
That's right. Right.
I think the chin is there to be cracked, man.
That's right. And Jairzinho Rozenstruik, he's only 36, but Tai's 31, and this is a must-win fight for Tai. So I think I'll be on him. Trust me though, it's a fight, and I know some people are picking Rozenstruik. I'll admit Rozenstruik's a better fighter. And it's not always that though. We're talking about who wins on Saturday night in Australia. And Tai Tuivasa's got a lot more to fight for. Stylistically, he's just in this fight, right? He could just slam a shot in at any time. So even though Rozenstruik's better, I think Tai can catch him.
Let's go. Tai Tuivasa, the pick for us both. Gervin and Murado, thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate you a lot. And Wise, thank you for $4.99. AJ, set up an appointment for you with the eye doctor tomorrow. Thumbs up. You also better get one for Finch, man, because we're both picking Tuivasa. Wise, thank you for the $4.99. Listen, let's look at the odds real quick. Plus 185, Tuivasa, Rozenstruik minus 220, Tuivasa by KO plus 225. I'm going Tuivasa knockout. I see it, man. I keep seeing it in my head. I think it's going to happen.
I respect the other side too, man. It's a fun fight for sure. These heavyweights are going at it. It's a cool matchup. It's the right fight.
It's going to be a great fight. I can't wait to see it. I think Tuivasa brings the Shui gang back and gets a nice knockout win in Australia. Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, featured bout of the night, we have Mateusz Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. I'll go with Mateusz Gamrot. I'm picking Gamrot, man. I think he's going to wrestle fuck him all night long. I think he's going to be wrestling all night. It's just
all night long.
Style of Gamrot is frustrating for me at times because if the UFC was filled with Gamrots, it wouldn't be on mainstream network. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be on ESPN. There's no diss at Gamrot. It's just honest truth, right? He has a very wrestling pressure win style, but points and control and key takedowns. And Dan Hooker is a kickboxer. His wrestling is normally decent, right? He's got about an 80% takedown defense rate. So with Gamrot probably shooting 20 takedowns, he's going to land at least 4 of them in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 5. So I guess I just think we're looking at a Mateusz Gamrot whose chain wrestling is probably just going to be too much for Dan Hooker. There can be comparisons made from the Jalen Turner fight with Gamrot and then saying, oh, well, Hooker could do well. Look at Jalen's performance. But you guys have to remember Gamrot stepped in, I believe, on 10 days notice for that Jalen Turner fight. And that was not Gamrot at 100%. When he's fully shaped up, conditioned, he can wrestle like very few guys in the UFC lightweight division. He can do it all night long. Hooker is going to need a flash knockout. And I hope that Hooker knocks him out. I hope Hooker knees him with a huge shot, catch him with a big punch. Hooker is a fun striker, man. Hooker's a guy that I like watching, but I just think Gamrot's too good at wrestling for him. He's going to have too much cardio. Chain wrestling for 3 rounds. I think Gamrot by unanimous decision.
Gamrot over wrestles. And I don't mean that in the amount of takedowns he goes for. I mean after the takedown. Beneil Dariush really exposed that. If you can scramble with Mateusz Gamrot, he just keeps scrambling with you. It makes no sense. And you guys might have heard Khabib in the corner yelling at Umar about this. I mean, the Dagestan style, the Russian style, they really hunker down. Like when Khabib gets to half guard or something, you're now going to be in half guard for the rest of the round. And you can't say that about Mateusz Gamrot. Mateusz Gamrot has bad ground control. And I know that's shocking for some people to hear, but go watch his fights back. He always is scrambling around, over wrestling. Why does he need 10 takedowns to win a fight? You should need 1 a round. You know, if the guy's popping up that easy, you're taking more risk than you need to. And so Dan Hooker will be live. Like maybe he can knee him in the face. Maybe he could put a big hook on him. You know, he's got a nice hook and he's got a nice little resurgence here. You know, can they give Hooker some easy fights? I guess they gave him Claudio Puelles, but you know, he was fucking, both of these guys fight everybody. I mean, Mateusz Gamrot beat Arman Sarukian. That dub is insane now, right? Look at where Arman's at.
Though.
Fair enough, but that's his level.
Yeah.
Lost to Beneil Dariush and then beat Jalen Turner, Rafael Fiziev, and Dos Anjos. Those are his last ones. Dan Hooker has been in there with Poirier, Michael Chandler, beat Nasrat Haqparast, lost to Islam and Arnold Allen, beat Claudio Puelles, Jalen Turner in the last one was split. But these are good names. These guys fight at the top of the division. So with them matched up with each other, you have to think the big outstanding thing here is that Hooker can't stay on the feet to throw his hook, you know? And so I'm thinking Mateusz Gamrot, but when you bet on a wrestler, it's really nice to have a wrestler who has great control. I don't believe in the control, and you could almost say fight IQ of Mateusz Gamrot. With that being said, he's been in there with Fiziev and very dangerous guys. He should be able to dominate Hooker. Gamrot with a shutout.
Gamrot with the shutout, the pick for Finch and I both. Gamrot, he's a minus 332 favorite with Hooker as a plus 272 dog. The over is minus 265, and Gamrot by decision is at minus 150. So both of us going Gamrot. I think he does win. Chain wrestling, pressure style, not the most entertaining. I guess it really is. The over wrestling is just incredibly frustrating to watch at times. But I do think Gamrot grinds out a win.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to see him just kind of pass to Mount and dominate, right?
Yeah.
You know, but he just kind of has a strange MMA style. And I don't know. I don't, maybe it sounds like you think he's more boring than I do. I like watching Gamrot fight, but you know, he's got those pillow hands. I mean, Gamrot just has no consequences when you're fighting him. Like, you know, say what you want about Walker. I've heard people rip him apart, you know, talking about how he's stupid and should be packing trucks. We'll just say it. MMA Guru said he's stupid and should be packing trucks. Look, man, you know, when he ground and pounds somebody, when he hits you, it's got a train behind it. When Mateusz Gamrot hits people, it's just pink, 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 pink. Call it rabbit punching. That was Randy Couture's old thing, just rabbit punching. We talked about that Kimbo Slice versus big fat Roy Nelson. Yeah. When he was just pink, 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 pink. Roy Nelson was saying in the Ultimate Fighter House, oh yeah, it's just unanswered strikes. You just got to go like this. The ref's just sitting there watching it. It's like, Gamrot, wind up, like twist your body, turn your hips, get vicious. Gamrot, are you vicious? Come on, man. Stop being an athlete and start being a fighter. That would be good to see. Gamrot, like rear naked strangler in the third. That'd be nice, right?
I like that.
Gamrot,
both of us going Gamrot. He should beat Dan Hooker. Let's jump to our co-main event of the evening. We got Kai Kara-France versus Steve Erceg. I'm going with Steve Erceg to pull through and win it. His boxing is good, man. I think he's a better boxer than Kara-France. I would say one-shot knockout power. I definitely can understand people saying France has heavier hands. But I feel as though the way that France is going to set up these big shots, he's kind of going to need Erceg to be somewhat careless in the striking and close that distance on him more recklessly than he does. I think Erceg has a relatively good jab. I think he's relatively good from distance. And I also think he could potentially time some key takedowns and put Kara-France in uncomfortable positions. Now, I don't think he's going to grapple fuck him or anything like that. I think Erceg is going to win 2 out of the 3 rounds. I think it's going to be competitive. I think Kara-France might be tough in moments, but Erceg is going to prove that he's the better guy. I mean, he gave Pantoja an incredibly difficult fight, and I think that Finch, man, is taking it home. Finch, you're going to win it. Steve Finch. Steve Erceg Finch. Getting it done. We're going with you, my man. I'm picking you to win, guys. Steve Erceg on the show. If you guys didn't know, that is Steve Erceg. He picks the fights for me every week. Steve,
I better start studying his accent. I better start putting it together. I don't even know where to start. All right. Damn it. I look like this nerd. Fine. Kai Kara-France has a nice overhand. Kai Kara-France is so difficult to take down. Kai Kara-France has fought way more competition. I mean, we've seen Steve Erceg in a couple of fights, literally a couple, right? As to where Kai Kara-France has fought everybody. He's fought Amir Albazi, Brandon Moreno, Oscar Oskarov, Brandon Royval. I was about to say Cody Garbrandt, but it's 2021 Cody Garbrandt.
Still knocked him out though.
Yeah, he's the former champ. Etc. I mean, he's got more experience. He's been there, done that. The co-main event spot's not gonna rock him at all. We've seen Steve Erceg in the big title fight, but before that, Matt Schnell, Alessandro Costa, David Dvorak. Like, I guess, before that, and then he wasn't in the UFC. So he has 4 UFC fights. He has 4 UFC fights. Just remember that. Steve Erceg all day in this matchup. All right. Steve Erceg can strike with Kai Kara-France. I believe he can stand up with Kai Kara-France. Kai Kara-France is a small person. He is, and he's fighting one of the biggest, right, in the division. I mean, you want to talk about a big flyweight. Steve Erceg is a tower. And so I think Steve Erceg can potentially mess him up on the feet. It'll be competitive if they just strike the whole time. It'd be nice to see Steve Erceg try to climb onto that back, try to get some scrambles going on the ground. It'll be interesting to see if Kai Kara France even maybe wants to score that last takedown at 30 seconds left in the round. See if Kai Kara is going to surprise us with some wrestling and just try to stay out of submissions. Steve Erceg's nasty on the ground, but maybe in the last 30 seconds, that'd be interesting to try to steal the round. I got Steve Erceg in the striking. I got Steve Erceg in the wrestling. Maybe. But I definitely got Steve Erceg on the ground. So Steve Erceg, submission, knockout, decision. I think he's got this one. And the odds aren't that wide. So it could get touched.
I think that odds are decent. Minus 155 for Erceg. Kara France plus 135. I think Erceg's got a good chance of getting it done. I think the money line is a better side than anything else, right? Instead of going out, trying to chase a prop or anything like that. I mean, you got money lineable bets on this card. There's a couple of them. And I definitely think Erceg is a potential laydown. I do think he's getting his hand raised. Like Finch said, bigger guy, 5'8" to 5'4". And I think surging up the ranks well. I mean, if you really think about it, Erceg shouldn't have looked as good as he did against Pantoja with the lack of UFC experience. We might be getting we probably are getting an even better Erceg after fighting Pantoja for 5 hard rounds. I think that Steve Erceg gets a clean W. I'm looking forward to it. Erceg down the center if you're betting it on the money line should get his hand raised. I'll pick decision officially though. I feel like Kara France is tough.
I appreciate people picking me for the dub here. Thank you guys very much. I didn't even train for this fight, so thank you very much. Yeah. Appreciate that. Steve Erceg is good, and some people consider him to be the uncrowned champ. And he's in his prime right now. Erceg gets this thing done.
Erceg to get it done. Finchman and I both picking it, and I'm looking forward to it. You know what time it is, Finchman? It's time for our main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe. Keep it locked in. Daily content coming. And let's get into it. Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya. I'm going with Dricus du Plessis to beat Adesanya. I feel as though du Plessis' pressure is going to be something that can make Adesanya uncomfortable, but it's not going to be the same fight as with Strickland, right? Because Strickland essentially just outboxed Adesanya for, majority of the fight. Du Plessis has the wrestling option. Even if he doesn't do tremendous amounts of damage from top, he's extremely physically strong. He's also incredibly fit at this point. The gas tank is really good. And I think he can time key takedowns, make Izzy uncomfortable, back him up. I also think there's an argument that Adesanya's best days are behind him too at 35. I mean, Izzy lost to Strickland. He was losing to Pereira and then caught him with a perfect shot. Fight before that, he was beaten by Alex Pereira. You have some meh decisions in the mix of it all. And I just think Dricus du Plessis is ready to rock for a full hard 5, and he's dreaming of getting this win. I think du Plessis gets a decision. And I also went back and rewatched that full Strickland fight because initially I thought that Strickland deserved the decision, but after the rewatch, man, I did score for du Plessis 3-2. So I think that adds a level of confidence in du Plessis heading into this fight against Adesanya, because Strickland made Adesanya look very human in their fight. I will say the big straight punch that rocked Izzy in the first round from Strickland definitely caused somewhat of a hesitancy more than we're used to with Adesanya. But even prior to that, all Izzy is essentially doing there is throwing leg kicks, moving against the cage, trying to pop some light shots, but there wasn't any significant head strikes. Izzy is going to need to have a performance reminiscent of Apollo Costa fight, right? Reminiscent of the first Whitaker fight. Like, he's going to need to really find a level inside of him that we haven't seen, I think, in a few years. Now you could say, oh, but he beat Pereira. I think that he caught Pereira with a perfect shot as Pereira came in reckless, but I think he was on his way out. I think that fight, if Pereira doesn't get caught with that punch, ends in that same round with Pereira's hand raised. Oh, you're making excuses. No, I'm just talking my facts. To me, this is what I see, Finch, and I feel like you probably agree. I think du Plessis gets a hard-fought decision, and I'm going to say and still champion. Israel
Adesanya is a much better striker than Dricus du Plessis is. He's better at everything. He's better with his hooks, with his kicks, with his everything. His footwork is so much better. I mean, his movement's incredible. The skills are not that close. A prime Israel Adesanya should knock out Dricus du Plessis. The problem with this fight is I don't know who the fuck 35-year-old 2024 Israel Adesanya is. I don't know who he is. If he's the guy who showed up to that Sean Strickland fight, this shit is going sideways bad, because not only is Dricus du Plessis going to be walking forward, Dricus du Plessis is going to shoot takedowns too. Dricus du Plessis has more shots in the book than a jab, cross, push kick. You know, Dricus du Plessis is not just going to walk forward with the Philly shell. He's walking forward with all types of shit. Dricus du Plessis is so hittable. I mean, defensively, he's one of the worst UFC champions modern era I've ever seen. He's very hittable. This guy deserves to get knocked out. I think most people are far more impressed by Dricus du Plessis than I am. What I am impressed with is in here. Dricus du Plessis is tough. Dricus du Plessis wants to win. When they were doing the pre-fight interviews for the Robert Whittaker fight, you heard Robert Whittaker saying, you know, oh man, I needed this check, blah, blah, blah. This is before the fight. You know, he's talking about fighting for money. I think after that loss, it lit a fire under Rob. You saw Rob dig deep after that against Alaskarov. But against Dricus du Plessis, he wants it more than his opponents. He wants it more than these guys. And him in a 5-round fight with that Adesanya that showed up like burnt out against Sean Strickland, he will beat that guy for sure. I'm going to say that Israel Adesanya can use his movement, can use knees up the middle, can use kicks, can use that big hook to throw over the top and catch Dricus du Plessis. I think this thing could be going sideways for Izzy, just like the Alex Poatan fight. That's why I made a face when you said Alex Poatan was beating him if it were not for that shot. But the thing is, that's a part of the calculus for this fight. Izzy could be getting his calf kicked off and still fucking bomb a shot and get a knockout. Now, I've been telling you guys about, you know, Poatan's ability to get caught with a big overhand shot like that the whole time. So he's been available. I'm telling you that with Dricus du Plessis. Somebody's going to knock Dricus du Plessis out. Is it Saturday? I'm going to guess it is. Folks, I don't know if I'm going to bet on this fight. I'm about to do my most confident picks show after this. This ain't one of them, because Dricus du Plessis might fucking 50-45 Israel Adesanya. It all depends on what Israel Adesanya shows up. What I see is a very overrated striker in Dricus du Plessis, a guy who got there because he's big, he's strong, he has the heart of a lion, he bites down on his mouthpiece and takes some risks, and he's able to walk forward and fuck these guys up and hit key takedowns on Whittaker. With Izzy's takedown defense is very nice, and Izzy's movement is side to side. It's just a different stylistic matchup. We've never seen Dricus du Plessis fight anybody like this. Dig into the record of Dricus du Plessis. It's not that deep, folks. Dricus du Plessis fought to a damn near draw against Sean Strickland, who got viciously knocked out by Poatan, if we're comparing. And then before that, Robert Whittaker, who was lazy in that fight. And then what? Derek Brunson and Darren Till and Brad Tavares? I'm supposed to be impressed by this? I am not impressed. You know, as to where Israel Adesanya's fought the who's who in the division. Now, there's one point to make here before I'm done with this one, which is that Izzy hasn't had a nice one since 2022, right? 2022, he beat Rob Whittaker and Jared Cannonier, and then Alex Pereira knocks him out. He comes back, he beats Alex Pereira, and then Sean Strickland beats him. Something was going on 2022, 2023 with Izzy where he was a little uncharacteristic, especially in the Strickland fight. But it's not unfixable. All right, last point. We've never seen somebody do what Strickland did to Izzy. The way Strickland walked forward and used those shots to kind of trap him, to try to kind of not let him move side to side and walk him down, Izzy now has more footage on Dricus du Plessis, and he knows that he's coming. He knows they're coming forward. So city kickboxing is very good at kickboxing. And so if that's what the fight looks like, which I assume it'll be doubles on the fence, which Izzy can defend, Izzy getting off the fence and trying to land strikes up the middle, I see Israel Adesanya making Dricus du Plessis run into a big shot. Might be a head kick, might be a left hook, might be a knee to the face. Give me Israel Adesanya via knockout.
Israel Adesanya knockout. I respect the call, man. -115 for Izzy, -105 for du Plessis. I'm in agreement. I don't think this is the betting fight of the week. I'll tell you that much. For a knockout win for Adesanya, you're sitting at +300. Listen, I'll definitely agree. Du Plessis' skill set, what he shows is not pretty. He's not a pretty striker. Adesanya is way cleaner. It's like you said, he has incredible heart. He's going to dig deep. He's very tough. He's in great physical condition. I just think he's coming into his own, man. He's prime formed right now. But if Izzy has a reminiscent of prime performance, absolutely possible. But if he has one of those, you know, even the Robert Whittaker rematch for Adesanya, outside of the big shot that dropped Whittaker, I mean, that fight was relatively close. I just don't know where Izzy's at this point. And I get what you're saying. The best version of Izzy ever before, different conversation.
You agree, right? Give me both of these guys in their primes. Who wins?
I think prime Izzy that like we saw maybe what was prime Izzy for you? Was it the Costa fight?
First Whittaker fight, first Costa fight.
As he was like a god with his timing. Yeah, I think he could probably do some damage. But the thing is though, what if he hits DDP with his best shots and DDP keeps coming? That's where things are crazy.
When I watch them strike, you can see where Izzy strikes and he moves side to side and he always stays in his stance, really disciplined. As to where when I watch, DDP fight, it's just like, what do you want? You can kick him in the leg. You could hit him with the hook. You could hit him with the jab because he comes forward like this. When he moves his head this way, it's just like there are so many shots you could pull out of the book. I think City Kickboxing and Israel Adesanya is a pretty fucking tough matchup for a guy who's got as many holes in his game as an Afghan blanket. You know, I believe that there are a lot of shots you can time. For instance, when Israel Adesanya throws the cross, he makes you slip outside and he puts the question mark kick over the top, or you can just go straight head kick, actually. Shit like that should be able to work against a Dricus du Plessis. Again, before you guys run out and bet on this thing, I'm telling you, this is an off-the-shelf Izzy who's 35, which shouldn't be a problem at middleweight, but he's got a lot of miles on him. I'm looking at it. I need to go to the mountain. I need the ayahuasca. I need to meditate on this one. Let it sink in. I've been battling it all day. I've been battling it all week, battling it all month. It's a good fight. I could see why I could see why everybody, and he's a dog money, so I don't know why, but I could see why everybody seems to be picking Dricus du Plessis. Dricus du Plessis, like I said, I'll repeat it, could 50-45 him. That wouldn't shock me. But if Adesanya is still Adesanya, he can get this done. Agreed. Listen, I like the takes. I do want to quickly bring up the donos. Andy Espinoza, thank you for 420. It's my cat's 9th B-day today. He's picking DDP. Happy birthday to the cat. And good luck to the cat on the DDP pick. We appreciate the 420. UFC Junkie, Mike Finch Premium tore it up, then used a few from AJ. Thanks, guys. Eating prime rib this week instead of mac and cheese. Let's do it again and again. Let's go, baby. Let's go, UFC Junkie. Come on, brother. I appreciate you being there. Guys, in the free channel, we've got like 900 people now. Let's get it to 1,000 for this pay-per-view. We're eating. I'm dropping my picks on Friday, my bets on Friday. I appreciate you, Junkie. Thank you for that. Let's go. EMG Drug God, thank you for $1.99. Bring back the Iron Knee and Fenchman LP Parlay Duo. Listen, I'm giving a little parlay action that I'm feeling right now. I know the Finchman's going to be dropping it post-way, and he's got the heat to deliver. He's got the magic. He's got it written down already. Guys, I have to also make a quick announcement. After Mike Finch is probably done with his live stream, my Contender Series breakdown should be uploaded. I see a lot of people in the chat asking about Contender Series. Yes, the Contender Series weigh-in recap show will be coming after the money line, and it's going to be dropping, man. Come on, folks. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my boy AJ. I'm going to be live in a few minutes. YouTube.com/Mike Finch. I'll be dropping my 5 most confident plays for this card. It's a hell of a fucking card. I hope you're excited as we are. Let's eat.
Should I drop a quick parlay for the people, Vince?
Of course.
Let's do it. Parlay section incoming. Let's get it.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah, it's parlay time. Adesanya's fighting. I hope he'll still be good Saturday night. Yeah.
Listen, I'm doing inside distance. Jack Jenkins definitely going to happen. He's going to destroy Burns, and I think Prates. That's a little Monday parlay for you guys, okay?
That was too quick. One more time.
Jack Jenkins inside distance, Prates to win it, money line. Parlay that up. I think you're getting yourself a little plus.
I tell you what, I've been eating on those under over things, and I always told you, I'm like, money line. Name of the show is Moneyline. I mean, what did I do last week? I ended up doing Carol Rosa points. Matter of fact, I tried to drop it in the free channel. My guy T was supposed to post it, but I guess I messed up in the video. I don't know. He didn't post it, but I ended up putting Carol Rosa points in the parlay. Carol Rosa over 2.5, and that ended up hitting. Chepe and Damon Jackson over 2.5 ended up hitting. I've been doing some of these overs. Yeah, some of those are definitely interesting to look at. I could see why you would go inside distance on that one. I'll ponder it. Thank you for adding it to the list of options, AJ. I like it.
Listen, check out Finchman. He's going to be live momentarily. I'm going to get timestamps done here. Then I'm going to get the Contender Series breakdown up for you savages. See you all in an hour or so, and see Finchman in the next 20 minutes. Let's go. Thank you for watching, everybody. Look at this.
I can't see the haters, Justin. I can't even see them, bro.
I don't even see them. They don't come in anymore. They're not in chat.
We'll see you folks. Let's go.
Peace, everybody. Smash the likes on your way out. And if you're new, subscribe. Appreciate you all. Much love. And I'll see you for Contender Series. And make sure you check out Finchman's most confident picks. Good night.